All right, thanks for staying with us, everyone. The clash between the Dangote Refinery and the depot and Nupeng as well is creating a situation where Nigerians are worried about whether they are going to have fuel or not. Dapman is escalating, and that fight is escalating. Now, Dapman has given the refinery 7 days to retract allegations that its members divert petrol to neighboring countries or face legal action. The association insists no proof has been presented, rejecting what it calls false claims that it sponsored the recent Nupeng strike or engages in round tripping. But Dangote is standing its ground, saying marketers are demanding an annual subsidy of over 1.5 trillion naira to cover coastal transport costs, an expense it will not absorb. In defense of Dangote, Senator Ali Ndume has appealed for restraint, warning that a campaign of attacks risk undermining a $20 billion investment seen as critical to reducing fuel imports and strengthening Nigeria's energy security. The National President, Petroleum Products Retail Outlet Owners Association of Nigeria, Dr. Billy Gillis-Harry, joins me for more on this. Good to have you join us, Dr. Gillis-Harry.
Thank you so much, TVC, for having me, and good afternoon, Nigeria.
So let me start by asking you where Petro stands in this, what now seems like a crisis between Dangote Refinery and Dapman and then Nupeng.
Well, Petron is on its own, having its own issues, and we have come out early in the day to be able to call the attention of the government to look at exactly what the challenges will be in the future. One of it was our concern that some of the decisions that are being made from Dangote, according to the press reports, will be inimical to our growth, and it will impact negatively on our staff. Job losses were imminent and looming, and we needed some level of clarifications. Of course, we have petitioned the Honorable Minister of Petroleum, the NMDPRA, the NSA, the DG of SSS, the police, and I think there's been very substantive intervention from the government to bring the matter to a level where we all can be assured. But as it is now, we have not been on the same table. We've been to a roundtable meeting with Dangote a couple of times. It didn't bring the kind of result that I would expect from my members. What does my members want? Most of my members are retail outlet owners in the nooks and crannies of Nigeria. And in the onslaught of anybody looking to, any company looking for us to be able to register and buy 2 million liters, 1 million liters, or 500,000 liters will be difficult for some of my members to meet. Some of my members, yes, have capacity to take up to 30 million liters at the stretch. And when they take 30 million liters at the stretch, why do we have to depend on loading that from the gantry? We could take it from the coastal and then bring it to some of the coastal facilities that some of our members still have in Calabar, in Ogara, in Warri, in Port Harcourt, and this will enable the entire distribution chain to be done. Since we do not have pipelines that are supposed to do that assignment, we will then depend on the truck owners to be able to do that work. And so we already anticipated that the kind of forward integration plan that we are seeing coming from Dangote's projection or want to do distribution directly will impact us very negatively. And we're hoping that at some point, every one of us will be on the round table to discuss. And I'm very happy to hear Senator Ali Ndume calling for everybody to, remember the common, the ordinary Nigerian that will be the one that will suffer in the event of any onslaught. We just need reason. And Dangote should reason, we will reason, and then the authorities and those who are mediators will reason and will come to a point where we should be able to succeed. One, Petron wants Dangote Refinery to be successful. We want it to be stable. It is like a 5-star general to us. So we need that to be defended and protected. And that way, the way that will be done is not where one company or two will be the only ones that are working while all of us stay comatose. That's my concern. Thank you.
So it would seem that the issue is bigger than the whole unionism that Nupeng has been talking about. What exactly are the issues?
It's much bigger than that. And we have made it very clear, even in our interventions, that Nupeng's issue is only one part of the conversation. Nupeng's issue is even beneficial for Dangote Refinery, but unfortunately, I think maybe there is no clear definition of the rules of all of these people and all of the assignments of the different organizations, such as DAPMAN, NATO, Petron, Nugasa. We all do ancillary services to make the industry to be stable. The way Nigerians have heard it so far is, oh, Dangote wants to give free fuel, and we're not. No, there can never be any free lunch anywhere. This is a business that requires massive capital. And I heard you talking about a $20 billion investment. I want you to add the size of investment that is there before the Dangote advent. So most of us are putting just as little as 200 million for our stations. But add it up, you will see that our investment profile layout is over $70 billion. So how do you compare that to just a paltry $20 billion investment that we want to even interrogate? So we need to be very clear about it. Nigerians need to know that the fight that is on is for them. And when they take sides, it shouldn't be for Greek gifts or Father Christmas gifts or just temporary reliefs. We should be talking about consistent supply of product that will guarantee our energy security, guarantee even our security, because when you're looking at energy, it is not just simply petroleum product retail outlet owners. It's a major tool for defense and stability of the country. So we must be able to have different sources, alternative sources. We want to support and patronize Dangote Refinery. After all, Petron members continue to buy. And most of our members, even in this onslaught, are still buying from him because we have to keep our stations wet. But we want a situation where there is clear understanding and knowledge of how this business will work, will benefit him, so he can rest assured that his refined product will be consumed by Nigerians and the foreign companies that are patronizing it, because I mean we're also told that he just started exporting. So we have a mindset that Dangote Refinery should be successful, and we do not want any experiment that has happened previously to other gigantic companies that got involved in different value chain of business and did not perform.
You mentioned that it is about consistent distribution of fuel. Has Dangote Refinery taken any action that seems to threaten that consistent distribution, as it were?
Okay, so let me explain this. One company is refining, one company is storing, and one company is pushing out the business plan that every one of us that have our retail outlets and depots should come to the gantry and take products. And I mean, from rumors, we already heard that somebody very close to the industry has also suggested that all depot owners should go and scrap their industry. That's a careless statement, very careless statement. For investors who have staff, who have families that are dependent on the staff, to scrap. I don't understand if such level of impunity and arrogance would just be thrown in the country and we should take it that way. We shouldn't. At my age and time, with the experience I have, I shouldn't take that. And nobody should take that. And if Nigerians are clapping because somebody has just said, look, I'm going to deliver petroleum product free. How can you deliver petroleum product free with 10,000, even 4,000 trucks, even 10,000 trucks, when we're already having over 30,000 trucks that are working today? And all of those 30,000 trucks will now be parked waiting for the 4,000 trucks to finish their loading from the gantry. And then the whole country will depend on just consistent. I mean, well, how consistent can that be? But if we do have different sources of product coming, for instance, from the Dangote Refinery, we have products that have been loaded to Calabar, we have products loaded to Port Harcourt, we have products loaded to Warri, and different players like the truck owners are there to give us support. The tanker drivers are there to give us support. And we can be able to deliver to all our stations, even the ones in the villages that are not in the net. Because the ones in some of the villages today cannot buy even up to 15,000 liters of product. So how do you protect them? How do they feed their wives? How do they feed their husbands? How do they take care of their school fees, of children? How do they ensure that they are contributing even to the internally generated revenue of their various states? Because in these local areas, we have members who are doing business in petroleum product distribution. So why do we have to have one company that will have the weight to refine, to store, then to distribute to the various retail outlets? It's a signal to let us know that in no distant time, we are going to be asked to sell our retail outlets. And that's our concern.
And for those who say, look, he's a businessman who has probably debts to repay, and they are investors who are also looking to make profits, from the refinery, and so he's well within his rights. It's not a legal issue, and that what you're asking for is more of a moral issue, and so he has a right to do business. How do you react to that?
Excuse me, every one of us are operating on loan. When you see my members leasing stations across the country, and some of those stations are rating between 1 billion and 4 billion naira. Do the math and turn it, to dollar. And look at how many stations. Right now on Petron's platform, we have over 7,000 retail outlets that are registered. And at least over 2,000 of them are doing business on a daily basis. And the way we do it is to make sure that we have some of our superstructures buy the product and then we buy from them. That's why we depend on the depots across the country. So if all of us are going to depend on just product coming from the country of Dangote Refinery, how do we cope? And how will our stations be wet? And how is it? So there are the conversation is deeper than just talking about union issues with NUPEG. NUPEG is the protection to us in the industry. In case you don't know, in case Nigerians don't know, NUPEG is a very serious protection, because whatever they are doing with so much concern for the safety of drivers and safety of the petroleum product. I don't know how many of us that will be sleeping peacefully at night when our products are loaded from Port Harcourt or from Lagos, and it's going to take about 2 days, 3 days to get to the destination. So what is going to be the difference that a CNG truck will do? Is the CNG truck going to increase the speed of travel from Lagos to Maiduguri by, can it take 1 hour to do that, or 10 hours? There are issues that should be interrogated, and the media frenzy should actually stop. You, the media people, should also play a critical role in interrogating some of these realities. You have a system that's been efficient. Yes, we do agree that Dangote's advent is a game changer, and we're all happy about that. But what kind of game changer should it be? It should be one that should benefit Nigeria. And what should benefit Nigeria should be how the system is integrated back to work with this game changer to work. Not just this game changer wanting to do everything by themselves. That's just a challenge. And I think that's important for you, the media, to interrogate it and become, advocates for the common good of the common man in Nigeria. And of course, even the presidency, the government, the Senate, everyone, because I don't think any senator will go to work without branching in one retail outlet to get their fuel. And that's how critical Petron is.
So I think Dr. Gillis-Harry, I think the best that the media can do is to have all sides and speak to all sides and let Nigerians make up their mind. But at the moment, the picture that Nigerians have is that of a very opaque and opaque oil sector. And they felt like the marketers were the ones holding that particular sector to ransom with all of the fuel subsidy and all of the scarcity that we used to have. In a few months now, we've not had any sort of scarcity since Dangote Refinery came aboard. And in the mind of the average Nigerian, how they interpret that, and I want to sort of react to this, is that, look, this man came on board and it seems that things are better in terms of availability, maybe not affordability because of where we are, because of the removal of fuel subsidy. And so to hear NUPEG want to go on strike, unionism, for a lot of Nigerians, it looks like, and just another effort to, in quote, frustrate the works of the Dangote Refinery. And I'm just saying this is the picture that Nigerians have. And how do you react to that?
Let me say this, and I want to come as close as possible to your understanding of what I'm talking. Now, let me say this, and if I don't make this analogy, it will be difficult for Nigerians to understand. I want you to understand that whatever we are doing, we must have to do it with values that must cascade to the ordinary man on the street. We have an orange seller. We have 10 orange sellers in one location, in Port Harcourt, Kano, Abuja, Lagos, anywhere. So orange is good to give you vitamin C, and everybody's happy. So you have that orange seller. You sell it. Sure, most of us get used to buying orange from that particular customer. So when you're driving past, you buy orange. Buy orange. How much? 10 kobo. Or 20 kobo.
Or Jennifer Billy Gillis-Harry.
And it works differently. It works differently because at the end of the day, I have a big orchard that grows orange. So I bring my orange to the same spot. And I tell you, the orange sellers, oh, you are doing a good job, no problem. But now I want to sell orange free. So anybody that is passing, I give free orange. Anybody that's passing, I give free orange. So in a day, I would have probably gone there with about 10,000 oranges and I've given 10,000 people. So what's going to happen to those people who are selling oranges? They're not going to sell again. So they won't pay school fees for their children. They will not take care of their wives, their husbands. And then, when everybody has died of the same, I will now come up and tell you that my orange is 5 kobo. Oh, so yeah, the other people were selling 20 kobo, so let me buy 5 kobo. So you buy today. Tomorrow when you come, my orange has gone to 15 kobo. You say, oh yes, 15 kobo is less. Then the other day, I increase it to 30 kobo. Then when I like, I bring it back to 20. Any day I like, I take it to 50 kobo. That's exactly what's playing out. And if Nigerians are not awake, we'll wake up in the same setup that we were when we were with sugar and we were with cement. So he's a businessman. Yes, he should do business, but I'm a businessman too. And I have a lot of businessmen that are members of Petro. And they are doing business looking after the needs of their families and therefore contributing to the growth of the economy and ensuring that the government is peaceful. That's where we are. All we're saying, please, let all the orange sellers be selling while you bring your own house to sell. And let us work with the way that, yes, because I have larger orchard, I should not, drop all the other orange sellers in the tree. So I believe that with this, you will understand a little bit better what the whole thing is. And that a businessman is doing his business in a way that is going to put you in a trap that ultimately you are going to depend only on him. So whenever he says there's no fuel in that single train station, the refinery, then you are done. Look, don't get me wrong. We are very proud of Dangote Refinery. It's producing already Euro 5, which is superior to our Afri 6. But he has a lot of advantages. He's a smart businessman, and I salute him. I respect Alhaji Aliko Dangote and his entire business team. And that's why I appeal that he should sit down and discuss with stakeholders and let us make this business work for the benefit of Nigeria. We are happy. We want to buy his product. Those who can buy from Coastal, sell Coastal. Those who can buy by Gantry, buy Gantry. Let those 10,000, 4,000 to 10,000 will be additional infrastructure to make Nigeria's energy security more guaranteed. It's not a fight. It shouldn't be a quarrel. It should be a collaboration. Stakeholders are willing, in my opinion and what I know, to ensure that Dangote Refinery is successful. But we can't go on this way where there are banters and accusations over and over from different sides. We cannot be doing our business in the media. So we need to get matters clearly defined and ensure that we understand exactly what we want to do. We are willing to support Dangote Refinery where they are, and I believe other stakeholders will do exactly the same thing. So we need to work together from around it. And that's why we are calling the federal government, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Secretary of the Government of the Federal Republic, the Minister of Petroleum Oil, the Authority Chief Executive of NMDPR, the Executive Director of the Federal, the FCCPA, that's the Consumer Protection Authority. They should intervene holistically. And of course, energy is a security issue. So I'm happy that the Director General of DSS has been intervening and bringing results and peaceful results that is making us work. Court cannot help us. So any one of us going to court to be this. I know some of our experiences while we've been in court for years and we never got any results. So let wisdom, patience, love, growth of the economy, and the help of even the present government that is bringing up policies to grow Nigeria much more efficient, be our guidance so that we can be directed well. Thank you.
Dr. Gillis-Harry, we do have to leave it there, but if I hear you correctly, unionism is one of them, but the marketing and distribution chain issues, are also there. We do hope that both the players in the oil sector and the Dangote Refinery will find the lines of compromise and Nigerians can continue to enjoy energy security. Thank you so much for your time. The National President, Petroleum Products Retail Outlet Owners Association of Nigeria, Petroan, Dr. Billy Gillis-Harry. All right, that's a standpoint this week. Remember, you can watch the repeat broadcast at 11 p.m. tonight and 5 a.m. on Sunday morning. Thanks for watching. I am Precious Amayu.